Welcome back to the Huddle, guys. Very special episode. I have Whit here. He's currently in Denver, Colorado, and we are getting prepared to talk about the NBA. So, Trae Young, a couple days ago, was just traded to the Washington Wizards. We were originally hearing rumors that he wanted to be traded to the Wizards. Kind of shocking to a lot of fans. I think someone said no one's ever requested to be traded to the Wizards. And then it happens. So, Whit, I brought you here today to really ask you, what do you think about that trade? Are you shocked? And then a lot of people talked about there's no picks involved. So, were you shocked with that trade about how they traded Trae Young so quickly to the Wizards?
As of recent, no. But if you were told me 2 years ago that like one of the best offensive minds of this kind of wave of NBA players would be traded for Corey Kispert and aging CJ McCollum, I would have called you crazy. But as of late, the Hawks went on this West Coast road trip without Trae Young. They did amazingly with Jalen Johnson as the center. And so I kind of think that they were like, okay, that's what really righted the ship. And with the picks, I mean, Trae Young is a very expensive contract. And with the defense he plays, I guess you just want to kind of get rid of that contract as soon as possible. But I remember literally a year or two ago, we were talking about Trae Young potentially getting traded to the Spurs for a couple picks and a couple young guys. And now he's being traded for Corey Kispert and CJ McCollum. And CJ McCollum just dropped 40, but he's kind of like that plug and play guy. So I see this as a win for, I would say, the Wizards, honestly.
Yeah.
You don't have to give up any picks for Trae Young, and you get mentorship for a guy like Trae Johnson, Trae and Trae, double Trae. We'll see what Washington comes up with that nickname. And then Bilal Coulibaly. So I think this is an overall win for the Wizards. Don't have to give up much for like one of the top offensive minds of this wave.
Yeah, and you consider this a steal for the Wizards. Or you think they got a big steal here by getting him?
I wouldn't say a steal because Trae Young is getting up there in age. And I just think his defense is going to get maybe worse as he ages. But I mean, that mentorship can be going up and up. I wouldn't say it's a steal, but it's a very good trade for Washington. And let's say this whole thing doesn't work out and Trae Young doesn't work out in Washington. We've seen it with Damian Lillard. We've seen it with DeAndre Ayton. You can stretch out these people's contracts, these max contracts, so you don't have to pay as much. So let's say it doesn't work out in 2 years, you're off that contract. And so it's like, why wouldn't you try to, mentor Trae Johnson? He's already shown some flashes. That Wizards team is looking really good, especially now with Trae Young.
Would you consider Trae Young their biggest superstar in recent years?
For Atlanta, absolutely. I think he's
for Atlanta, yes, but for the Wizards now, do you think that's probably the best player, the biggest superstar they've had in a while?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you have to go back to the John Wall, Bradley Beal eras. I feel like that's when they've really been their best in the last like 50 years. I would say Trae Johnson or not Trae Young, excuse me, is right up there with those guys. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Wizards can maybe make a play-in run. Maybe that's for next season, but I wouldn't be surprised if they reach that point.
Well, yeah, you just mentioned the play-in and then team success. Do you see this pushing them forward up the ranks in the NBA? Do you think in future success that they'll find it with Trae Young?
It all depends on how he works out. I feel like the main thing with Trae Young is his usage rate. I mean, he has a super high usage rate. So does he want to take a lesser role in mentoring Trae Johnson and mentoring Coulibaly? If he does want to take that role, I see the Wizards getting a leg up. But if he wants to be the center of the offense, we saw it with Atlanta. I just don't think he's going to be that effective. And I think that's when we'll see him get moved on in 2 years. But if he wants to take the mentorship role like Chris Paul did in his later years, I think that it's a great fit for Washington, and they'll probably re-sign him to a good contract.
Yeah, it looks like Washington might be a little more competitive as the years come, but would they really compete with the top teams? That's kind of the question, right? I think maybe they probably have to build around him a little more. So I see what you're saying. With 2 years, you'll see if he's still with the team or not. But great points. Moving on with the All-Star break coming up soon, right? And the voting being open. You told me you were voting a little bit recently. Who are your absolute locks for the All-Star break?
Well, I'll show you who I'm voting for. We'll pop an image right up on screen here. So I'm voting for. Obviously, I'm a Bucks fan. I gotta vote for Giannis first. We'll start with the East. These are all 4 Bucks players. So I got Giannis, Kevin Porter Jr., Kyle Kuzma, Ryan Rollins, most improved player for my opinion, and then Miles Turner. I think we could get into that a little later and why I picked him. And then for last, Chris Middleton, because he's a Milwaukee Buck. And now for the more serious picks. This kind of changes depending on the day, but it's mostly stayed the same. For one, I have Lauri Markkanen. He's having a tremendous season. I just think out there in Utah, they're building something really special. And then Denny Avdia, I think he just dropped 40 yesterday, so he has to be in the All-Star game, in my opinion. And then number 3, Keontae George. I think that's an underrated pick. Keontae George and Keyshawn George for the Wizards, I feel like staying on the Wizards talk, have been absolutely amazing. I don't know if they're related. Maybe this is like, maybe I'm a casual and I don't know that, but they have been having a tremendous season. So Keontae George gets my 3 spot. And then my 4 and my 5 are a little more traditional. I have Wemby at my 4, and then I have LeBron at my 5, because I think LeBron, even though there's probably better players over him, I just think it would be really cool if we see him in, I think, 22 All-Star games out of 23 seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know if he made it his rookie year. So I do think this is going to be his last year.
Really? I don't think so, because I think he would have announced prior to the season. So I think at least one more year we'll see him. I don't think he's gonna wait for Bryce to come into the league. How many years is that? 2 more years, maybe 3.
I mean, Bryce redshirted this year. He's playing in a really. I don't think we expected Arizona to be as good as they are. Right. I mean, they have Koa Pete and Braden Burry, so I feel like they saw this coming. I don't think the rest of the U.S. saw this coming. I mean, so I think Bryce probably also didn't see it coming. Like, they were supposed to be good, but the number 1 team in the nation, that takes a different type of beat to be on. Yeah. And so I think we see him, in my opinion, he should stay 3 more years.
3 more, yeah. Well, yeah.
3 more years, unless...
Don't take the Bronny round, be underdeveloped, and now you're in the G League the whole time and still developing, right?
Yeah.
But all right, going back, you did mention LeBron, Laker. My question to you is, what about Austin Reeves? Austin Reeves probably having his best year in his career right now. Do you think he's an all-star player right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, Austin Reeves is the one, like, if you guys don't know, voting, you can vote every single day. And I think on the weekends, your votes count for 3 times. And so, as I mentioned, I filter a couple players in there. Austin Reeves is one of the ones I do filter in there, along with Steph Curry. And what rhymes with Curry? Jamal Murray, who should be in the All-Star game because he is having a tremendous season as I'm here in Denver. He's been doing great things. Jokic also should be on the All-Star game. I don't think he will be back for it since he's out, I believe, 2 months.
That whole Denver team's kind of injured right now with Murray. Last I saw was he was the only starter that was healthy. So definitely tough in Denver right now. But yeah, Murray probably should be an All-Star player. We'll see, right? And when is that All-Star break exactly?
I am not sure. I believe it's... Let me see if I can just submit my votes here. I know it's in LA 2026 at the new Clippers Arena. I would have to come back to you on that, but that's going to be electric.
February 13th to 15th in Los Angeles.
So
So yeah,
so that's like nearly a month away.
yeah.
And so if you don't know, get your votes in. Vote for all Bucks players. There's no bias going on here, and vote for Chris Middleton. Um, on a more serious note,
Yeah,
the
so definitely
Pistons have
go
the
ahead.
Pistons have had a great season this year. I've been really surprised with them, if I'm going to be honest.
Right. Actually, speaking of the Pistons, real quick, I think the last time you were on the show, you predicted Cade Cunningham's signature shoe deal, like literally the day before. So, yeah, definitely,
Dude,
definitely got to get
that was
more
crazy.
accurate predictions here on the show this season or next season with the Huddle as we're still on the winter break. That's going to be it for the NBA. But speaking of predictions, up next, we're going to have Kyle join me. We're going to predict the entire NFL playoffs. So stay tuned. We'll be back shortly. And here we are with Kyle Sparrow, ready to talk about the NFL playoff predictions. Kyle, how are you doing today?
Doing really good, man. We've been talking about this for a while. It is finally time to give our playoff predictions and just talk about the end of the regular season as a whole, which was, you know, you talk about this is one of the seasons to remember in the NFL. The way that it ended, I don't think it couldn't
Right.
have ended any better.
Exactly.
There was it was dramatic, there was chaos, it was everything the NFL I think strives to be in terms of like the audience
Yeah,
watching.
honestly,
So it was really fun.
that Ravens Steelers game might have been one of the craziest games I watched.
Yeah.
My reactions, my cousin's a huge Steelers fan, so I was sitting right here on a call with them, and we were just going crazy. Yeah, crazy ending. Such a good season. Started with the Cowboys Eagles, pretty good game. I would say it was a really good game, and then ended on a great note. So just a great season, and I'm predicting we're gonna have a great playoff season here, right? So let's start it off. First game tomorrow is gonna be the Rams and the Panthers. The Rams actually visiting the Panthers, and some people might say this is not a close game, but we saw early in the season the Panthers beat the Rams. So for you, Kyle, who do you see winning this game, the very first game of the playoffs?
You know, I know that the Rams are visiting the Panthers, and I know the Panthers aren't really given that much of a shot. But I just think, Matthew Stafford and the Rams, they just have too many weapons, and the Panthers defense is not the greatest when it comes to isolating those receivers.
Yeah.
I would give it to the Rams just because we've seen Puka Nakua have arguably one of the best seasons he's ever had. We've seen they added Devontae Adams, who's just a freak, and
Yeah,
their
almost
run
revived
game
his career with Stafford.
exactly.
Right?
And it's like their running back duo, Blake Corum and Kyron Williams, when they get going, when they fire on all cylinders, it is one of the hardest teams to stop. And I just don't think the Panthers defense, I believe in Bryce Young and Tedero McMillan, potential offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
I just don't think the Panthers defense has the firepower to stop the Rams on offense.
Yeah, we've seen the Rams play them before, and they did overcome that feat. But I feel like since then, the Rams have kind of declined a little bit. They haven't really been as good as a team as I thought they were. They were in the middle of the season. They're a pretty surprising team. And not to say that they're bad, but they lost that final game to make the playoffs, and they got saved by the Atlanta Falcons. So,
Yeah,
yeah, like
I would say the Panthers have a lot of like glaring problems
Yeah.
because without the Falcons, they would not be in the playoffs right now. And we saw against the Buccaneers that in that rain, yes, it was bad conditions, but they just didn't play like we've seen them play.
yeah,
And yes, the Rams did decline. Yes, I get that, but
but not
you
as
look
much as
at
the
that.
Panthers have. Right.
You look at
Yeah.
that division. There was a three-way tie for
Exactly.
the first place, and they were all three of them were losing records. Like, you cannot tell me
And-
that the Rams are one of the best divisions in football.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you cannot tell me that team
Kind of like
in
two
that
opposite
division-
divisions going at it here.
Exactly.
You have like the best division in football with teams that all could have been the first seed, and then teams that should be a 7th seed should all be out of
Yeah.
the playoffs. If we would have seen the Falcons beat the Jets earlier on in the season, we could be talking about a whole different game right now. The Falcons arguably are the best team out of that division as when the season ended. So
Exactly. They had a late surge.
Yeah.
And you could credit it to who you want, but the Falcons let the Panthers get in, and the Bucks kind of sold the bag at the end as well.
Yeah.
But I just don't
I mean, the Bucks
see how
dealt a
the
lot of
Panthers.
injuries, and maybe it's
Yeah,
a topic for another time. But I'm definitely gonna expect the Falcons to look a lot better next year, and maybe that division overall will be a lot more competitive. But the
I hope
Panthers right
so.
now need to lock in, and I don't think they stand a chance against the Rams. Probably the worst
Yeah,
team in the
I'm with
playoffs.
you.
So next game we have Packers Bears, the most traditional rivalry in maybe all the sports. So for that one, who are you picking?
So ESPN actually has Green Bay as -1.5. I don't understand that at all. I believe in the Bears. I'm on the Bears bandwagon. Let's put
Yeah.
it that way in the NFC. I think they get their first win in a while in the playoffs, and I think Caleb Williams kind of gets a chance to silence all the haters because no one believed the Bears would be in the playoffs, let alone a 2 seed. Like you look at the Bears a year ago, there was problems upon problems upon problems. But I think with the addition of Ben Johnson, with the resurgence of Caleb Williams, you kind of got a Bears team that has something to prove. And we all know when the NFL has teams that have something to prove,
Yeah.
they normally do well. I have the Bears taking this one. I think it'll be a shootout, as the last game was, where DJ Moore iced it with an overtime winner or touchdown. I just think the Bears get it done, and I think the Bears will be a serious threat to any team in the playoffs.
I gotta agree with you a little bit here. I definitely think the Bears are gonna take it over the Packers. Not a huge fan of the Packers, being a Cowboys fan, but I'm also
They
not a
see the
huge fan.
Cowboys jersey.
Yeah, I'm not a huge without Micah Parsons. Their defense isn't all that. They got Trayvon Diggs. They take another Cowboys player, and they think all of a sudden he's gonna be the old Trayvon Diggs. And I mean, maybe he was acting like he was bad so he could get out of Dallas since his best friend left. But I don't think the Packers are really gonna put up any competition. Maybe it'll be a close game because of the rivalry, but without Michael Parsons, Trayvon Diggs is not him. Jordan Love is banged up. Malik Willis looked pretty good, to be honest. Maybe they stand a chance, but I don't really have the Packers competing that much in this. Now, for the Bears moving on past the Packers, I don't think they really are going to be a team that you're giving them credit for. They're still a young team. Caleb Williams is still a young player. He's going to be great. But I think the NFL is just so stacked this year, and the NFC is so stacked this year that they're going to have a hard time moving past this first game. We'll get there in a little bit, but
Yeah.
I'm not a huge believer in the Packers. I mean, maybe I'm being a little biased and a little hateful, but
It's just the Bears just got the momentum that
Yeah.
they just got momentum, and I think the Packers, they kind of dropped off as most teams did at the end of the season.
and for the
Just
Packers,
with
it's just they throughout the season they played down to the level of the teams that they should have beat. Like they tied a Cowboys team who everyone likes to make fun of and has the worst defense in the league, while they supposedly were supposed to have a top 3 defense with Michael Parsons, and we tied. So
and they don't like they had a quarterback change like at the dying moments of the season. Yeah, as you said, Malik Willis played pretty well, but you don't know how Jordan Love is gonna kind of ease in, and he's playing a playoff game on the road in
yeah,
what is one of the hardest places to play in these playoffs.
yeah.
And the Bears fan, they're probably jumping for joy, and they're gonna make Jordan Love's life hell in Bears Stadium.
And that
So
Bears defense is legit. I mean, Kevin
yeah,
Byard, I believe, led the league in picks, if I'm not mistaken. One of the Bears,
yeah.
I know it's one of the Bears defensive backs did. So Jordan Love's gonna have a tough game. It should probably be a good game just because of the rivalry.
Yeah.
But and speaking of the Huddle's old episodes and the predictions between before the season, we had someone on here in our very very first episodes predicting that the Bears, I think they might have said would win the division, or maybe second place, and everyone was shocked. I think I said they might be second place. I think they said they would be good but still fall third place. But I know my predictions were completely flipped. I had the Lions at first, so just a testament to how crazy this season has been. But let's move on. So next game will be, I think, the Bills Jaguars game, right? I'm gonna let you go ahead. You go on your little rant.
Okay, so here's my thing, right? So if memory serves me correctly, ESPN has us as a 1.5 point favorite. The one team that I did not want to play in the playoffs was the Jags because our defense, the Bills' defense, can't stop the run for nothing. It's just the Bills. The Jags have Trevor Lawrence, who's playing out of his mind recently, and the Jags are one of the hottest teams right now in the league. In saying that, I do have to say that the people who are saying that this is Josh Allen's easiest road to the playoffs, that it's Josh Allen's make or break, I think that is the biggest piece of garbage that I've ever heard, because you look at all the teams in this playoffs, to get here, it was the most chaotic end of the season I've seen. Every young quarterback stepped up. Teams that we didn't think would be in the playoffs made the playoffs.
Right.
This is arguably, yes, there's no Mahomes. Yes, there's no Burrow. Yes, there's no Lamar. I get that. But this is arguably one of the toughest playoffs that Josh Allen has even made it to.
No, I 100% agree. I mean, I was probably saying that before, that this is Allen's year because you have no Holmes, you got no Burrow, and I would like to stop putting Lamar in that conversation because when he gets to the playoffs, they don't win, and maybe that's not his fault, but he's not taking out Josh Allen. But yes, Burrow and Mahomes, especially Mahomes, it's like Allen's kryptonite. No matter how good he does, they still lose. And I also hate the narrative that Josh Allen chokes. Sure, he had few moments.
It is not even his
Josh Allen played lights out against the Chiefs and the Chiefs still somehow win. It's not his fault.
Bro, welcome to the club, bro.
Dude.
It is never Josh Allen's fault. He always looks so defeated in those post-game press conferences.
I wouldn't say never, but in those games where he had the chance to go to the Super Bowl, it's not his fault. It's not.
AFC Championship last season, not his fault.
Yes, thank you.
The first down was a questionable call. Yes, he didn't see the blitz, still gave it, and Dalton Kincaid dropped it. But the biggest problem with the Bills is the defense.
Yeah.
The offense is so good. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, Super Bowl window's closed. We lose to the Chiefs yet again. It doesn't matter when you have Josh Allen at quarterback. He's arguably, you can make an argument for the best quarterback in the league, and you're just discrediting him just because, our defense lets up like 300 total yards of offense and it's Patrick freaking Mahomes.
It's such a casual take. It's such a casual take. And let me throw my guy, Dak Prescott, in there. I mean, well, one, I think Dak Prescott definitely chokes more than Josh Allen does. But this season, people are still saying if we would have had a different quarterback, they would have been good. It's like, do you even watch the games? The defense is selling and ruining it for the offense and that quarterback. So as we go into this Jags game, I definitely have the Bills as one of my favorites in the playoffs, but by no way is this an easy playoff for Allen. And I was mistaken. I probably did say it was. It's not. I already said this. This is going to be the hardest year to win a Super Bowl in a long time. And Allen is such a good player, and this should be the year that he wins. But he's going to have to fight so hard because of his defense that it's going to make it even harder for him. So I don't know who to take in this game. I'm going to take the Bills because
I'm with you, bro.
I'm going to take the Bills because I believe in Josh Allen so much. But if his defense cannot put up a few stops, it's going to be hard. And the Jags, I will not be surprised if the Jags win this game.
And to your point, I'll get to my prediction in a second. But yes, I understand Josh Allen has not won a road playoff game. I understand that. Yes, our defense is very, 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 very bad. But I mean, when our defense has done well, you look at the Patriots, the second half of the Patriots, the first half, we exclude that from our memories. But you look at the second half of the Patriots game, it was clamped. Like there was, there was going to be haters and say, oh my God, the refs had Bills. The calls were bad on both sides of the ball. I don't even want to hear it. But I will say, Josh Allen has to put the Superman cape on for 4 games in a row. It's going to come down to, as well, you can throw James Cook in that Superman conversation as well. I do. Now, obviously, I'm going to be biased as a fan of the Bills.
I don't blame you.
I will take the Bills so long as the defense can isolate Trevor Lawrence and their run game.
Yeah. That's
the big question because I don't know. Is Travis Hunter going to be back for this game?
I haven't heard anything about it. I don't think he will. But honestly, I don't think Travis Hunter really makes much of a difference. I'm not saying he's a terrible player by all means, but he's a rookie. He's still like, somebody told me when Travis Hunter got hurt, they thought their season was over, and I was baffled because I'm like, come on, Travis Hunter is not like carrying this team by any means. Trevor Lawrence has played great this season, um, and honestly, it's gonna suck to see if the Jags lose because I like this underdog team that they have. First year team. So many teams came from like the bottom of the pile and
Yeah.
jumped up to the front. Patriots, Bears, and Jaguars. Just shocking. So it sucks. I like both of the teams. I wish they both could go on, but yeah, even if Travis Hunter is back, I don't think it makes much of a difference.
And to credit the Jags, Liam Cohen literally
Yeah.
did one of, if not the greatest coaching jobs in this year.
Yeah, it makes a great
And
argument for coach of the year.
And exactly. And I have, so long as Josh Allen puts on the cape, I think the Bills get their first road win, or Josh Allen gets his first road win in the playoffs. But if if Josh Allen has one of those games that he kind of falls off and relies on the defense, the Jags have like the Jags will win this game if this is one of the closest games in the first round in my opinion. I think it is the closest game in the first round.
Yeah.
It's so hard to predict because it's really a coin toss. I just give the edge to the Bills because I'm a fan, and that's the only argument I can pretty much make about that game.
Yeah, well, we haven't been doing score predictions for the last couple games, but I just want to hear what you think the score of this game will be.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be decided by a field goal. I think the Bills win. I think it's like 31-28.
You better hope it's not decided by a field goal because we know if it's Cam Little
Shut
taking.
up,
If
man. We understand wide right. I know.
No. That's not what I'm saying. If Cam Little is the one taking the field goal for the win, it's done.
No. I'm saying the Bills.
No,
win
I
via
know.
field goal.
No, I know you are.
Little's a
I know you're
dog.
saying that. But if that game comes down to a field goal and it's the other way around,
Oh, it's Cam Little.
Cam Little, you're
yeah,
done.
Jaguars win.
Yeah,
100%.
Jaguars winning that. So yeah, I expect a good game as well. Next game we got the Niners versus the Eagles. Oh man,
This is another just juggernaut of the game, pretty much. I think it is.
No.
Well, you're an NFC. You know.
Look, I hate both of those teams. I know. I'm gonna be biased here. Bro, give me the 49ers by a million. The Eagles
Really?
Dude, the Eagles are the most fraudulent team I've seen. And bro, I don't care. I don't care if they have Mr. Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts. He's not a top 10 quarterback in this league this season. Honestly, they have had decent production throughout the season with two wide receivers with over 1,000 yards. And I believe, is it Jalen Hurts who has over 1,000 rushing yards, or is it Saquon? Because he's a running back. Dude, the Niners, even with so many injuries, have looked, they almost won the first seed with so many injuries. Their backups can be on the first round, on the first team. They are good. That's a good team. And Christian McCaffrey has had an amazing year. I'm going to take the 49ers in this game by a lot. I'm not going to give a score prediction, but I told our friend Johnny, the Eagles don't stand a chance against any team in the NFC besides maybe the Panthers. That's my humble opinion, but I'll let you go.
Okay, first off, you're not gonna like what I have. I have the Eagles.
That's crazy.
I have the Eagles. It's in Philadelphia. Like, yes, home field advantage plays a part. We saw the 49ers play against the Seahawks, and it was not their greatest game. Brock Purdy did not play a good game. And I think, yes, the Eagles, I'm not saying the Eagles defense is on par with the Seahawks defense. I think the Seahawks are miles better.
Yeah.
I just think that I just have the Eagles. Like, if Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey get isolated, there's not one guy on the 49ers that I trust. And George Kittle, yeah, whatever. But I just think the Eagles, I think you can trust A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith more than you can trust Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy.
But can you trust Jalen Hurts?
I think you can.
I don't think you can.
I said at the beginning of the huddle, I thought Jalen Hurts was a top 5 quarterback just because his running ability and passing ability.
Okay.
I stand by that.
Maybe
I think the Eagles.
That's fine.
I think the Eagles beat the 49ers. I think it'll be another close game. But I do see if the Eagles defense cannot stop Christian McCaffrey and they don't make that pocket, or they have oh my gosh, Brock Purdy has a clean pocket and Christian McCaffrey can run wild, I can see the 49ers trouncing the Eagles. But if that doesn't happen and it's flipped and Brock Purdy is and the pocket is not clear and Christian McCaffrey doesn't have good running lanes,
Right.
Trent Williams is coming back, to be fair, but I just think the Eagles, just on paper, have the better team than the 49ers.
I don't
That's
know.
just
I just think the Eagles have had such an up and down year. Even when they're winning, their fans aren't satisfied. They it's like they're losing when they're winning. They look like a beatable team, and while that's happening, the Niners have just looked like they're coming up right at the end of the season, right at the perfect time, and almost gets that first seed. Sure, they lose to the Seahawks, but someone had to lose that game, and they held the Seahawks to 13 points. It wasn't like it was a blowout game. So
Yeah.
I don't think one loss is going to ruin their momentum, especially heading into the playoffs. I think they're fired up. They were underdogs pretty much all season with how injured they were, and Brock Purdy actually looks good. So I think maybe this is where we're gonna be our first disagreement for our picks. As we move on, we can see both scenarios where both teams win, but yeah, I'm gonna have to take the Niners. You could take the Eagles. I'll never pick the Eagles regardless of who they're playing though.
figure that.
And then to the last game on Sunday, Chargers Patriots. I'm actually very excited for this game.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm excited for all these games to be honest. I'm ready to just sit down and watch 6 good football games this weekend.
Exactly. And
But
that's what the NFL should be in the playoffs.
oh, it's yeah.
That's
I-
exactly what it should be.
I don't think there's really a single game here where I'm locked on someone can easily win. The Rams Panthers game is probably the only one, and the only reason why I'm not is because the Panthers already beat the Rams, so they know how to beat them. All right, and maybe the 49ers Eagles because I just don't believe in the Eagles. But so back to the Patriots Chargers. I'm gonna let you start off. Who do you think has this game more likely to win?
I think the Chargers got the luck of the draw because I think the Chargers I think because if it was me, I would much rather play the Patriots. In my opinion, I think you look at the Patriots team. They kind of had similar to most teams. They kind of had a decline at the end of the season. Yes, they still won those games, but they kind of weren't playing as well as like their record says. And I know everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my God, Mickey Mouse schedule." Who cares? Drake May's a dog.
Yeah.
He's second in MVP vote. Who cares? You look at the Patriots team.
They're
they
legit.
were garbage the past 3 seasons. And you look at them now, they're a 10+ win team.
Yeah, they're
And they won
legit.
the AFC East. They took
Under
it- they took
Vrabel,
it
they're
away from the
legit.
Bills.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
they
I
beat
don't-
and they both games against the Bills they came out and destroyed them. The first game they destroyed them.
Exactly.
Second game they were destroying them, and then you guys came back. So the Patriots are legit. Sure, they had an easy schedule, but it couldn't have been that easy. I don't think anyone really had an easy schedule this year, to be honest.
Yeah.
There weren't like half the league was bad. It was not.
Yeah.
It was not like that at all. So, this game is gonna be. I guess it's gonna come down to
It's a
the
toss-up
quarterback.
again.
It's gonna come down to the quarterback.
Exactly.
Justin Herbert has played really good this year, but there have been moments where the Chargers looked iffy.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wasn't a huge believer of them going into the Dallas Chargers game. And I thought we could sneak away with the win there, and no, they proved me wrong. And then since then, I think the Chargers have looked pretty good. So I don't know if they look good enough to beat the Patriots. Again, maybe a coin flip of a game, but I'm just from my gut, I feel like Drake May has had such a good season. He's top 2 this year. And for MVP voting, I think Stafford would be first, and then May's gonna be second. I
Yeah.
think Drake May pulls it off, and he's gonna get that win against the Chargers in the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. I could see the Chargers winning this game though.
Yeah.
Just because Jay Herbo, we know he can ball. They have the weapons. Quentin Johnston played at the beginning of the season. He was
Yeah,
going ballistic.
I'm a Johnson fan. I've been hoping that he gets it locked in for a while now, and this year he's looked good. He's looked like what CeeDee Lamb should have been looking like. Like they switched bodies because
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb's had a few drops that were questionable, right?
The one glaring issue for the Chargers, and I'm sure we touched on it previously. It is the offensive line.
Yeah.
If you cannot give Justin Herbert time in the pocket, the Patriots he just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Like we always have this. Jay Herbo is a great quarterback. I'm not discrediting that,
Yeah.
but we haven't seen him really with a offensive line that has protected him and for enough time where he can throw those deep balls as we know Justin Herbert can. I would say the Patriots have the edge just because of the defense again. And I could see like if the Chargers O line does well and Jay Herbo goes into Foxborough, that's a hell of a win for him. But I think the Patriots get it done. Just because it's in Foxborough. Drake May is playing at a very high level. But I will say this: if the Patriots lose, there is going to be you don't even want to look at social media if you're a Patriots fan because the easy schedule rumor will just go
Explode.
everywhere.
Yeah,
It
it will
is
confirm
like
it so
there's already
easily.
there's already so many posts about the
But you know
Patriots
what?
schedule.
If the
It's the
Patriots
worst.
if the Patriots win, people are probably still gonna say, "Oh, it was the seventh.
Yeah.
It's the Chargers." And yeah, so great point though with the O line. I think most teams you hear, "Oh, their defense is bad. That's why they're selling." Few like the Bengals and the Cowboys, they have good offenses, but their defense is bad. But
Yeah.
I think more important than the defense for any team is an O line for sure because you could have a great quarterback and when they don't get time to throw, they're not going to do good. Look at Joe Burrow. He's been hurt every year because his O line is atrocious. So Justin Herbert's in that same category where these guys should be in the Super Bowl conversations every year, but they can't because their O line's so bad. And
Yeah.
they're still building that O line. But yeah, that's gonna be their biggest weakness, especially against such a good Patriots defense. I do want to give the Chargers defense some credit. I've seen that Chiefs
Yeah.
Chargers game. They are a hard hitting defense, and that's a
Same
good
with the
defense.
Eagles game too. They
Yeah.
made Jalen Hurts life a living hell.
that was a
Yes,
that was a good
we
game.
saw the first play ever with the same player turn the ball over twice.
Twice, dude.
Yeah, we saw that. But
4
like
interceptions, 1 fumble. That's
Chargers,
a good
Chargers are
defense, man.
legit. I think like
And
the
especially for a
odds on this
quarterback that
game-
doesn't make mistakes like that.
Exactly.
Prior to that, I think he only had 2 interceptions on the season. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good defense. Honestly, the more we talk about it, the more I'm like, Chargers might win this game. That's gonna be a
This-
really good game.
If anything, I think this game is literally because I think the Chargers won the lottery in this playoffs because you want to play the Patriots due to that schedule discrepancy. But we've seen Drake May ball. I think the Patriots get it done. I could again really close game, but it's just going to be an exciting time to watch football
Yeah.
and be a football fan, especially if one of your not if your team is in one of the playoff spots because it's just every single time the Bills play in the freaking playoffs, I just get 10 times more nervous than I usually
Oh,
do
trust
in
me,
normal
so
games.
do I. I don't even care that
It's
we're not in
just-
it this year. It
it's
just
just-
saves me heartbreak. I'm
Ugh,
fine. Now I get to
man.
enjoy. Now I get to enjoy football. Like this is great.
I
We got one more game. Texans Steelers. In what might be for me, I think when you say the Chargers won the lottery, I think the Steelers lost it
yeah
because the
100%.
Texans are such a hot
100%.
team, easily the best defense and such a young defense too, but they're so good. And
Yeah.
and probably an underrated defense right up until that end of the season when people start realizing this team is legit. With CJ Stroud back and he looks like he did his rookie year. He looks good. For some reason, even though I'm saying all this about the Texans, something in me still thinks
No.
the Steelers might win. And
No.
I've been saying all year the Steelers would be the worst team in the playoffs. They'd get bounced immediately. And I still partially believe that. But something about Aaron Rodgers in possibly his last season, he might be able to pull it off. And just for
No.
the storyline, just for the script, the Steelers might go all the way. I don't know.
No. I think the Texans with their defense, yes, it's a home game for the Steelers. I don't see it. And I think yes, if Aaron Rodgers can be vintage Aaron Rodgers, Steelers hell might go all the way.
I mean,
But
they get
I think
DK
the
Metcalf
Texans-
back. Calvin Austin's a good receiver. That's
I think the Texans just on defense, they're all over the place.
right.
You have Derek Stingley, you have Will Anderson at all sides of defense. They're like I think they're number one defense in the playoffs right now. I just think Aaron Rodgers isn't going to have time to throw.
Right.
I just don't think that's what's going to be. And the biggest question for the Texans is the offense, because we've seen the offense be stagnant at times too. But I just think the Texans defense runs wild. Although the Steelers, again, it's a home game for them. But I have the Texans. Again, I think it'll be like a touchdown game. But I have the Texans.
I guess it's up to the Texans offense. As long as they play to their best ability, they're gonna win this game easily.
Yeah.
But oh man, that Steelers defense did not look good against the Ravens. Two blown Jalen Ramsey.
But
how is that a Pro Bowl cornerback?
That dude got dusted like 3 times, because I don't know what he was thinking.
That was terrible.
Isaiah Likely, or not the Zay Flowers bomb. He commits down for a run, and then he's like, "Oh,
and then
crap,
he's looking around. He's looking around like lost twice back-to-back drives, I believe. Twice, terrible. And now that I'm remembering this, the Steelers don't even deserve to be in the playoffs. I take back what I said. You're right. The Texans are going to win this game. If the Steelers pull it off, I'm happy for Aaron Rodgers. Not happy for the rest of the Steelers, though. They don't deserve. That defense does not deserve to be here.
The Ravens just continue to shoot themselves in the foot every single year. Last year tough. It was against my Buffalo Bills, and DeMarc Andrews dropped what should have been an easy 2-point conversion. But they probably heard the fans, because they didn't
they choke one against you guys again this year too?
Yes. Man. Yes. Yeah.
So yeah,
it's just.
Poor Ravens.
You have a 14 to 17 point lead in the fourth with like 5 minutes left, and we ended up winning that game. And what was a candidate for game of the year? But it's just nuts.
So for this next round, I say we just fire it off. It's been pretty long already, and we'll just save all our analysis for next week's episode once we get the actual matchups. But so we have for sure, we both agreed on the Bills. The Bills would be facing the Broncos. I think.
Oh God.
I don't believe in the Broncos offense all too much. Their defense is great. I think I called the Bills in the beginning of the season. I believe in Josh Allen. I'm gonna pick the Bills for this one. What about you?
Going into Mile High Stadium is a tall task.
It's hard to breathe there. I remember when I lived there. It was tough.
Yeah. I think the Bills. Again, I think the Bills get it done. No surprise there. Yeah. But that'll be a tough game to win.
Yeah, we both agreed on the Texans and the Patriots, so they would be facing each other.
Give me the Texans.
Yeah, look, I agree. I think if the Texans face the Patriots, they have a better chance than the Chargers do. I think if the Chargers, the games would switch if the Chargers won, though. But then
it would be
Chargers against Broncos. I think Texans here as well.
Yeah.
Now we disagreed on the Eagles, so we're gonna move. The way I have it with the Niners winning, it would be Rams, Bears, and then Niners, Seahawks.
But it'd be
if the Eagles won, it would be it would be Bears, Eagles, Rams, Seahawks.
Regardless, I think I'm taking the Seahawks.
I agree.
Sure.
I don't know. I think if the Seahawks play the Niners, I'll take the Seahawks. If the Seahawks play the Rams, I'll take the Rams.
Yes, I agree with that. My prediction at the start of this season was Bills-Rams.
That was my prediction.
No, it wasn't. It was mine. We both had the same prediction.
Then we might have. We have to go back check the tapes.
I know for a fact I had Bills-Rams, and Thomas looked at me and goes, I called it.
I don't think that's shocking at all. I think, honestly, I'm still going to go with that. So let's say the Eagles do win. So they'll play the Bears. I'm taking the Bears. That's where I'll take the Bears. I know I said I don't believe them in the future. I'll take them over the Eagles.
I'll take the Bears.
Now, if it was the other way around and the Niners ended up beating the Eagles, I think the Seahawks would win, and then the Rams would win, and then we'd still get the Seahawks-Rams in the final. So
And I'm taking the
regardless,
Rams in that.
I'm taking the Rams because I'm taking them also over the Bears. So,
Yeah.
and then we'd have Bills-Texans.
Oh God, I don't even know what to say to that because we lost to the Texans early in the season. Bills.
Yeah. For this episode, we'll just go Bills. Our prediction still stands. Bills-Rams. Who wins this game in the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
I'm taking the Rams. I think it would be such a good playoff.
I will say this.
Happened.
Okay, depending on if we end up winning these 3 games, depending on how Josh Allen plays, will determine who wins the Super Bowl. If he puts the cape on and he's riding on a 3-game hot streak, I'm taking the Bills.
But
I see Puka Nacua make redonkulous catches how he's been all season,
right.
I'm taking the Rams.
If the Rams make it all the way and the Bills make it all the way, I think they have the same argument. If they're both hot, it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a good game. Here's my one reason for the Rams. The Dodgers won the World Series. It's LA's time. It's in the script.
It's Buffalo's time, damn it.
It's the year for LA.
At
least you guys made the Super Bowl, right?
No. Because then we'll have made 5 in franchise history and not won a single one. That's horrible. No. I want a championship. Give me the Bills. Give me them.
All right. Well,
the Bills.
We'll see next week when we get the first round finished with. Then we'll see if the Bills are even still there. Right.
Yeah. That's the first round.
That's definitely all we have for today. That was a long but a great talk. We will see you guys next week for the next round of the playoffs. My name is Aaron Meza and this was Kyle Sparrow. And that's all we have for the Huddle. See you guys next week.